Hey, what is going on, guys? So we are 52 weeks down, which means we've hit a year online selling on Amazon. And it's been an eventful year, to say the least. I'm going to get into why I personally feel like we're back at square one a year later and what has been going on, what has been happening with our store. But real quick, I'm just going to take a moment to play an intro soundtrack. All right, so we're back, and I just wanted to show you what we have done for the past year. It's nothing super crazy, but for a first year in business, I think it's pretty well. And I think we did pretty good. With any business, you have your difficulties, you have your struggles, you have your trials, your tribulations. Even with an Amazon automated store, you're going to have ups and downs. And I'm super blessed that, I was able to go with the company I went with for the first 6 months. Of course, we had a rough time with the company because they weren't really doing anything. The next 5 to 6 months, roughly, we were able to have another team service our store, and they've done an excellent and an amazing job. But real quick here, I'm going to show you this. This is what we have done. Hopefully you can see that it kind of auto-focused. But yeah, what that says is we have done $91,950.88 in sales. So we're averaging right around 7 to 10% profit margins. A couple months we were down to 5. A majority of our months we are up at 10%. So overall, we averaged right around 8 to 10% on our profit margin. So we made right around $9,000 in profits. Now, we were expecting to make back this full investment amount within 1 year. Did we do that? No. But what helped us was we did start up a business. We paid $20,000 to get it started. And so that gave us some tax breaks where we could put that money back into the initial cost. With the $9,000 that we got and that money, we're right around $4,000 to $5,000 that we owe for starting up the business. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty amazing because once we hit that $5,000, we're able to pay it off. We're able to profit every single month after that. We don't have to worry about paying back any initial investment costs, which is different than any brick and mortar store ever, because you're not able to do that. Usually it takes years upon years to get all that stuff paid off. So with all that being said, we made $91,950.88 in sales. A total of 1,181 items went out. They were actually sold. And we had about, how much is that? Yeah, we had about roughly 250 to 300 items returned. And our average sales per order item is $77.86. So I'm going to get into why I feel like we got back to square one. In just a second, I kind of want to show you what we've done this month. And we've been consistently selling, and we have a crap ton. I think I can say that without them, hitting me for any complaints, but on YouTube. But with that, we have had a lot of sales, and this month we've gotten 1,125 sales so far. The items that we're selling are right around $20 a pop. So when I show you this, you're going to see that today we have roughly $188 in sales with 7 items ordered. Each day we've had right around 7 to 14 items being sold, but they're lower priced items, so you're not making as much. Now, if you had items that were selling for $100 a pop, then that's like $1,000, $2,000 dollars that you're getting because you're selling a higher amount. And so We haven't been doing that lately. Our items have been lower priced, but we've been selling pretty consistently. And so our team, what they did was they've been adding a lot of items on our store. Right now, we have a total of 1,051 items on our Amazon store, which I think is pretty good. Honestly, I think we could have gotten that within 6 months because when the new service provider took over our store, they added pretty much everything from scratch. They took off all the other items because some of them weren't profitable and they re-added in their items, showing you that within 6 months time, they were able to add in 1,000 items. So if they were able to do that and the other team did what they were supposed to, we would probably be up towards $2,000. Well, 2,000 items, not dollars. But right now we're at 1,051 items and we have 707 active items. So about 340 items are inactive as of right now. But that's still pretty good because we normally would only have like 400, maybe 500 items that were active. So it shows you how much we've been growing, and it shows you that our team's been doing an amazing job with what they've done. So for our team, literally the people in charge of our invoices and in charge of getting us to pay out our monthly amount, the 30% profits that we make, we pay to our team for running everything. That team in charge of getting all the invoices has all gotten COVID. And so it's created a big difficulty with people being able to pay off their invoices. On top of that, we only have 10 virtual assistants that are working for us in the Philippines. And so that is also very, very rough. And it's making it challenging for the company I'm with now. And so they gave us one of three options. So what I said we did, right, before we did drop shipping, which is literally buying your products from a third party company, purchasing those items, shipping them to the customer. Now, what we did, we had them repackaged along the way. But they saw that the profit margins weren't as high as if we were selling our own privately owned items. And so if you do that, then you can do it one of two ways, right? You can do it one of two ways. And you can do it FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, or you can do it your own way, which is fulfillment by merchant, which requires you to have a warehouse, requires you to have upfront items that you're going to sell and well, you're going to buy first, and then you're going to have them at the warehouse, and then you're going to sell them out to your customer, right? And you got to package them and deliver them and do all that, take care of all the warehouse stuff. And so the company shifted from drop shipping to fulfillment by merchant. So FBA, you got FBM, fulfillment by merchant. And so they are the merchant. They own the items and they sell them to the customers. And so a handful of stores were suspended from the prior service provider. And what that did was it made it so that they were not able to reopen their account through drop shipping. And since that happened, they had an option to join the fractional team, which a fractional is pretty much like you got a set amount of stores that are partnered up that are selling these, I guess, privately owned products that you have either rights to sell or they're your own items that you are selling and making yourself, right? And so you're making a lot more profits. If you sell a $5 item, you're probably selling it for $30 with everything said and done with fees and that. You're making around $20 to $25. That's like a lot more profits than to sell an item for $100 and only make $10. And so it shows you that there's a big difference in your profitability when it goes to fulfillment by merchant rather than drop shipping. And so you have a lot higher profit margins, therefore only requiring you to sell anywhere from $2,000 to $5,000 each month, right? And make like 4-5 times whatever you're selling. And so the cool part about it is you're literally grouped into a group with other stores. And so as these Amazon stores sell stuff, you will make a portion depending on how many people are in. If there's 10 people, it's split 10 ways. If there's 20 people, it's split 20 ways. But the cool part about it is you don't have to physically go out there, spend the money up front. You're getting the profits on the back end. And then as everything's paid out for the virtual assistants for that store, everything's paid out for, all the people running it, they give you the portion after that's all paid off. And so it's a lot more hands off. It's a lot more automated, and it's all ran through the specific merchant, which allows you to not have to worry about suspensions. You're all in a corporation. You all have your own LLCs, and you all have your own business, but you don't have to do all the legwork. And so it makes it a lot easier. And so what happened was is the team was like, hey, we're going to give you 3 options. The first option is to move over to the fractional, and that's it. And you don't do anything with your store. Option 2 is, hey, we'll give you a discounted dollar amount towards our background software so that you can use that, and we'll give you some recommendations for VAs, virtual assistants, to use to be able to still run your drop shipping store and still be able to run your fractional store so that you're getting money from both sides of the spectrum, right? Or option 3, you can cut ties with us altogether. You can go your separate way, and we won't give you a fractional, and then you'll be in charge of your store, and pretty much you're breaking the contract, and then you go your separate way. And so with all that being said, it put me in kind of a predicament. Like, I'm like, what do I do, right? Do I just go my own separate way? No, because you're more profitable with the fulfillment by merchant store, right? And so I chose to do option 2. So right now we're actually linked up with them. We're going to get a discounted code for the software they're using, which is OA Genius. I don't know if you've heard of it, but they got 2.0, which does automatic orders on your behalf from these third-party merchants or third-party, vendor companies, whatever, right? And they're going to purchase it on your behalf. And then you're going to have virtual assistants who are going to add items to your store. And then they're also going to service any customer questions or refunds or anything like that. So it's all working out really, really well. But now I'm starting all over, in a sense, essentially. And it's cool because we're like 12 months later. And so now I get to see how this works out with a drop shipping store that we're still trying to scale up to 100,000 a month, which I believe we're going to get there with having to take on new virtual assistants. It's going to be interesting, and we're going to have to go through the process of, are they doing a good job? I'm going to have to, be monitoring it a lot more. But at the end of the day, they provided us with the best virtual assistants and the best software at a discounted rate. So like literally that company's done all that they could. But the thing is, you can't focus on a fulfilled by merchant, store and a drop shipping store and kind of do both of them at the same time. So that's where the hardship comes in. And so right now, when they're hit by COVID, for all their invoice people, there's only 10 virtual assistants, and there's only so many sales going through their warehouse. It makes it difficult to be able to do a whole bunch of other stuff. And so they put in about $1 million worth of money to be able to set up all this stuff. And so what's cool is now I will be getting started a fractional store. So I'm making a fraction of what that store brings in. It's like, for example, you have 5 LLCs under a corporation, and that corporation sells off Amazon through a specific store. Okay. Once they make those sales, you get, let's say, $10,000 in revenue. Let's say you got to pay $3,000 for your cost, the 30% of the profits, whatever. You got to pay that. Now $7,000 split 5 ways, and you're each just going to get that deposited to your bank account. And so it makes it a lot easier, which I'm doing the math right now. That's $1,400 a pop. So now it makes it a little easier. So if you do the same thing, for example, let's say you're selling $100,000 worth. There's only 5 people. Realistically, there's probably 5 to 10 people in a fractional store. But minus 30,000 because that's 30%. Let's just say that. And then you divide that by, let's say, 10 stores. You're each making $7,000 in profit. So it's very possible for you to make the same, if not more money from a fractional store than to make it from drop shipping. Plus, drop shipping, you have to do $100,000 to make anywhere from $5,000 to $10,000 in profit each month. And with those profits, you still got to pay your virtual assistants and all that jazz. So it's been a very, very interesting 12 months. And I'm super pumped. Like, if anyone goes into business, you have to realize there are always going to be ups and there's always going to be downs. You're always going to have challenges that you have to overcome, and you will always have to pivot. I think so many times we will quit and we will give up on ourselves because things aren't going perfectly. And so I just want to tell you, it's never going to go perfectly, but how well you are able to adjust and pivot along the journey, that is where you're going to be successful in anything that you do. So with that being said, guys, I really do hope you took something away from this video. I'm pumped. I'm super excited because now I'm going to have potentially income from 2 different stores, and I didn't pay any extra for it. So I cannot thank the company that I'm with enough because they are literally the best. They literally provided the best service to not screw anyone over. And they literally offered, the highest quality service to everyone to get their money back from their initial investment, and then also to build and grow something that is long lasting. So I'm super pumped, guys. I'm going to still make these videos every single week to tell you how and what I'm doing on this journey. And I cannot wait till we get to $100,000 in sales per month, because once we do, that will literally replace a full-time income just from doing that. Of course, I'm doing other stuff on the side, but to be able to say that I got a full-time income coming from a store selling on Amazon, that is insane. So guys, thank you. If you like this video, definitely drop a like down below. If you think someone else will find value from it, share it because it makes me smile like I am right now. As always, let's go out there. Let's revive our lives together. Let's get a